What's up, vinyl community? It's your boy Chris, or as those of you who follow my channel, subscribe, follow me on Instagram, know me as @Tunes from the Man Cave. Very rare that I do a recent find video or recent acquisition video, but this was a great chance. Just got a bunch of heat in. Scored from a friend of mine, from two friends of mine actually, from a pop-up, and this one actually has a little bit of, you know, one of my favorite subjects. Even did a full video on it. You guys may remember vinyl karma. So, diving right in. I got this friend who gets his hands on a lot of jazz. He has his ways. Sometimes he, finds me something out in the wild. Sometimes he, comes across a duplicate that he might have, and he sends it on my way. And our usual arrangement is we agree on a bunch, and when we get to the point where he can fill a big box, he sends them my way. So, that being said, oftentimes it takes a few weeks for us to fill a box. So by the time the box has gotten here, sometimes I forget everything that I had in here. And obviously you guys know what it's like, the pure joy to get a package and open it up and see that record, or to find that record out in the wild, to find it in the bin. And I've never thought to actually record that so that you guys could witness that firsthand, until I saw a couple of unboxing videos on here. I saw an unboxing video of the Jimi Hendrix 6LP Electric Ladyland box set that just came out, as well as the Beatles 4LP set, and I was like, you know what? The next time I get a package from my boy, I'm going to open it for all of you guys. So, let you guys know what we're dealing with. This is almost always the size of the box. 12, 13, 14 pounds usually. I've gotten one bigger than this before. Sometimes he's literally had to tell me, hey man, I'd send you stuff now, but I don't have a box big enough. Give me a few days. So, to let you guys know what we're dealing with. Gonna open this box up. There are a few that I know are in here. There are a few grails in here. And there are a few that I have forgotten about. No doubt. Obviously, you're not going to forget about the most major ones. Obviously. Does anybody ever forget the most major ones? I don't think so. Alright. Box. My boy sure does know how to package, guys, let me tell you. He's great at it. Alright. First up in the box, I'm going to show them to you guys in the exact order. Gene Ammons, The Happy Blues. Prestige. Art Farmer, Jackie McLean, Duke Jordan, Addison Farmer, Arthur Taylor. All play on this bad boy. It's from the Jazz Classic series. It's electrically, it's remastered. It's a reissue. But it's a good one. It's an early one. I can't wait to get it. I love Gene Ammons. Very, very, very underrated jazz musician in my honest and humble opinion. Next up, this is one I had forgotten. I don't know how the hell I forgot it, but I did. Got shit on my mind, guys, as we all do. Body and Soul. Donald Byrd, Kenny Burrell, Paul Kinchett, Curtis Fuller, Frank Foster, Hank Mobley, Mal Waldron, Hank Jones, all play on this beautiful record. Now this is a status pressing, but sometimes with status, you'll open it up and you'll have a status cover, and the record will have the original label. Let's see. Haha. Love it. Status cover, the blue Prestige label. Obviously not the iconic Prestige label that we all know and love, but still, their status is nowhere on there. And so it's always even better when you find those. So I've got 4 or 5 that way. And man, I'm always happy to come across those, because just being status makes them cheaper. Man, I forgot about this one too. Damn. Getting forgetful in my old age, guys. Rich versus Roach. Awesome one. That cover's cool as hell. I really dig it. You're only talking about two of the greatest jazz drummers of all time. A battle of bands and drums between Buddy Rich and Max Roach. Man, I'm really cool to have it. It's really cool to have this. I'm really happy to have this. The cover's immaculate. Sleeve's immaculate. There's no splits. There's no anything on it. I'm ventured to say the wax looks immaculate. My boy won't send me anything shitty. He just doesn't. Oh man, it looks beautiful. Beautiful. That'll be going on the table in the next couple of days, no doubt about it. I got the next 2 days off to do nothing but talk about records and spin records. Best believe your boy's going to take advantage of that. Best believe. Okay. Another underrated one. James Moody, Another Bag. Awesome record. Again, very underrated. If you're not familiar with the James Moody, I would highly recommend you get your hands on one. This one's on Argo. Stereo press. Great record. Happy to finally have this one. Okay, I was super excited about this one. This is definitely not one I forgot about. Several reasons. Number one, Duke Pearson is awesome. And again, underrated and appreciated on the jazz scene. This is far too many of these artists are. And another one, the album title and the album cover are cool as hell. Duke Pearson, Prairie Dog. Tell me that shit's not cool as hell. Tell me that's not a cool cover. Man. Small little split on the top of the sleeve, but not anything I can't fix. Blue and green Atlantic label. Cool as hell. Can't wait to get her cleaned up. Get a MoFi sleeve on it. Throw on the turntable. Another thing I love so much about the cover is it reminds me of the cover of another one of my favorite jazz albums of all time. Saved it, put it to the side just for this. Sonny Rollins' Way Out West. Something about cowboys and jazz, guys. That shit's just cool. Combines two of my favorite things. You gotta love it. Man, I'm super psyched to have that. I'll be listening to this one today. There's no doubt about it. Okay, cool. Yeah. Man, this one. Grant Green, Alive. This one's still in the shrink. Full disclosure. Your boy here hates shrink wrap. I can't stand it. Shrink wrap is terrible. I remove that shit as soon as I get the chance. But for some reason, when you find them listed on like eBay or something, they're like still in shrink. You're just like, okay, well, it's not sealed. And they like think that makes it more valuable. In my opinion, it's like, I'm going to take that shit off as soon as I get it home. So, but anyway, I only wish that it cost what the retail price was at this store. You guys see that? Look at that suggested retail price from LA Green's Discount Record Center. I'll have to do some research and find out where that is. This one, of course, is on Blue Note. Grant Green. Killer record. It would have been nice to get it for $6. All right, next up. One of my favorite jazz records of all time. Eric Dolphy, Outward Bound. This is a great record. This is not an original pressing like What I Want. And fun story is it's even the same pressing that I already have, just upgraded in terms of condition, both of the wax and of the cover itself. It's an original Jazz Classics pressing. But what I like so much about this one in terms of the other one is the other one's got a chip, like a piece cut off in the bottom left-hand corner. And anytime, a lot of times that won't bother me on an album that's not necessarily one of my favorites. But when we're talking about an album that is just, amongst my favorites, I don't like there to be any imperfections, if I can help it. And the original Jazz Classics pressing of this one is great. I'm holding out for that original mono. I got eyes out there on the street looking for me. I'm looking myself. I'm going to get my hands on it. It's going to happen in 2019, I can assure you. And when it does, this one will probably belong to one of you people watching this video. Probably. So, don't forget that. Keep it in mind. It could be yours, and it's in great condition. I've got something in mind. I got a little vinyl karma in mind for the pressing that I already have. Stay tuned, because the record on it, the wax on it is immaculate. It sounds great, and it's getting ready to go to a great home. I'm going to keep this one until I get my original. Then this one will also go to a good home. All right. This one's probably the one in the box I'm most excited about. Probably. Grant Green, Feeling the Spirit. Original stereo pressing. Guys, I love Grant Green. Herbie Hancock's on it, Butch Warren's on it, Billy Higgins is on it, Garvin Masseau is on it. It is stellar in every way. Boy, no way I'm going to be able to set this one to a side without pulling out this gorgeous Blue Note label. Original New York. Guys, nobody did album covers like Blue Note. Nobody beat them. This one's just so good. I added a lot of Grant Green to my collection in 2018. I'm going to keep on pushing in 2019. And this one right here is absolutely not going to any of you. Only exception is if I find an original mono for a good price. For early Blue Note, mono is always an upgrade, in my opinion. Oh boy. Back-to-back grails. I'm going to have a heart attack in front of you guys here. Thelonious Monk Quartet. Mysterioso. Original press on Riverside. I got to take a look at this one too, obviously, guys. I got to. Original mono. She's Beautiful. This is getting played today, like within the first two records I throw on today. No doubt about it. Thelonious Monk on the keys, Johnny Griffin on the tenor sax, Ahmed Abdul Malik on the bass, Roy Haynes on drums. Man, I'm glad to have this one. I wanted this one for, oh my God, so long. You guys, get any pressing you can find of this album into your life. I highly recommend the OJC, the Original Jazz Classics pressing, guys. Highly recommended. It's a great press because it's an early OJC. It's sourced from the original tapes. And best of all, for a lot of you guys who like jazz but just don't want to pay these exorbitant prices, it's cheap, meaning $15 to $30. If you're smart and if you do a little searching around, you can find it. I promise. Man, 3 grails in a row. 3 in a row. Monk's Moods on Prestige. Immaculate as always. Another one, again, get it into your life. Oh man, the sleeve's immaculate. There's not a split on it. There's not anything wrong with it at all. Get a look at that Prestige label. She's in great condition. Is one of the 3 big ones in this box for me. A little writing on the back cover, but that's it. Man. Album's composed of 2 separate sessions. First 4 were taped in 1952, October. The others, December 1952. And the only difference of the other 2 sessions is the first session has Art Blakey on the drums. The second has Max Roach on the drums. So not exactly a big drop off, even though Art Blakey is my favorite jazz drummer of all time. Man, this cover looks so good. Jeez. Man, my boy sure does know how to do it, man. He knows how to do it up. Let's get the rest of these out of here. The box is getting tight as we get down towards the bottom. Next up, I've been getting a lot of Max Roach lately. This isn't even the last one I'm going to show you. Max Roach, Drums Unlimited. Max Roach again, drumming genius. I've talked to some people before that like jazz and don't dig Max Roach, and I can't figure out why. This one is not similar to a lot of my jazz records in the fact that, besides Impulse, that it's a gatefold. Obviously, with the Impulse, you get a lot of gatefolds, but not with Blue Note or, Prestige, the blue and green Atlantic label. Beautiful. Man, did the person who owned this even play it? Jeez. Thank you to people who take care of your records. Kudos. So I like to think that whoever gets my records when I'm long gone, when I'm not on this earth and, my family sells them for cash, I like to think that whoever gets my records is going to be like, damn, cheers to this guy I just got these records from. All right. Now, this one, I don't even know what it is. And I say I don't know what it is because my boy told me, he says, hey, buy the whole lot and I'll throw you in a few. And he wasn't kidding. I have no idea what this is. Kilimanjaro on Decca Quartet Très Bien. Man, see what I got. Very interesting. Not very often that I get one where I'm just absolutely just at a loss for what it is. But I can't wait to dive in. Man. Thanks, Marcus. I appreciate it, buddy. This one's going to be fun. All right, next up. Art Ensemble of Chicago, Certain Blacks. Awesome. So on Inner City. The cover's cool as hell to me. The label's cool as hell to me. It's going to be my first piece on Inner City. Sleeve, everything's immaculate. The wax is immaculate. Man, Chicago Bow on tenor saxophone, percussion, piano, and harmonica. Julio Finn on harmonica. Joseph Jarman on tenor sax and soprano sax. Roscoe Mitchell Jr. on baritone sax. William A. Howell on drums. Lester Bowie on trumpet. And Malachi Favors on percussion and bass. Man, I'm stoked about that one. That's going to be awesome. That's not one, by the way, that goes for a lot. I'm just really stoked to have it. It's a lot of lesser known in the jazz world musicians on a far lesser known label. And 43rd West 61st Street in New York. And I'm just really stoked to dive in head first on that one. And you remember, guys, that I told you I've been acquiring a lot of Max Roach. Let's continue that trend. More Max Roach. This time on Argo. It's Max Roach, Hank Mobley, Kenny Dorham, George Morrow, and Ramsey Lewis. Did Max ever play with Ramsey Lewis other than this one? I'm not sure. Anyway, this one's got a small split seam at the bottom. Nothing I can't repair. It's got the gray Argo label on it. The Max Roach Quintet. Title of the album is Axe. Very excited again. I've been on a Max Roach hot streak since about mid-2018. I've really been on a Max Roach hot streak. And it continues. And the next, Drives, Lonnie Smith. Love Lonnie Smith. Underappreciated genius, at least in my opinion. You don't hear his name mentioned nearly as much as I'd like to hear it mentioned. It's on Blue Note. Obviously. So you know it's good. Dave Hubbard on tenor sax. Lonnie Kubert on baritone sax. Larry McGee on guitar. Lonnie Smith on the organ, of course. And Joe Dukes on the drums. So that's the box from my boy Marcus. Thank you, man. Coming through in the clutch just like you always do. All of these are immaculate. I think I already know the order I want to listen to these bad boys. I'm about to get them cleaned up. Get some MoFi sleeves on these. And get them on the turntable as fast as I can. And to add to that, the last box that I got from my boy, I got Finger Poppin' by the Horace Silver Quintet, original mono press. Only thing is it didn't have the cover. It came in, just one of those white, covers. And he had told me, he's like, yeah, I'm gonna, this is the price for it because it doesn't have the cover, but dude, the wax is near mint. And he wasn't lying. I don't know how they managed to keep this wax in such great shape without the cover, but they did. It's got the ear, it's got the RVG, it's got the 47 West 63rd, and it's a freaking Horace Silver record. So, now I'm showing you a cover, so you guys are like, okay, well, how in the hell? Well, he had told me, he was like, dude, go ahead and get this because you're going to have a hard time finding wax in this good a shape, and be patient, and we will find you a cover. So, last week, or 2 weeks ago, I found this album with the wax and everything on auction, $4.99 starting price. And I was like, okay, well, hey, it's probably going to go for way more than that, but why not get in there? And I put in a bid. I put in a top bid of $10. And guys, I ended up winning for $5.99. So I got my cover. The wax isn't in as good a shape. And I subbed my near mint wax that I had just gotten from my boy Marcus out and put it with this cover. So, for the, I'd say VG Plus other piece of wax that I have for this one, I'm going to keep it in that sturdy white sleeve. Little vinyl karma coming for you guys. And I challenge you guys to do the same thing I did. Be patient. Look on eBay. Look on Discogs. Be patient. You'll find yourself a cover for under $10 as well. And, man. So, essentially, I got this for the whole package, the cover and the record and everything, for about half what these things go for. I could not be happier about that, guys. All right. Closes up my deal for my boy Marcus. All right. So, this past weekend, attended Dylan, Noble Records, pop-up sale. These things are always outstanding, you guys. If you ever have the means, if you're ever anywhere near Charlotte, North Carolina, when one of these things is taking place, drop in, please. He always has them at cool places like Divine Barrel. So if you're a craft beer enthusiast, you can have yourself a couple of beers, dig through some records. If you're a coffee enthusiast, he often has them at really cool cafes. You can have yourself a little caffeine while you dig through your records. The crowds are always awesome. You always meet members of the vinyl community. Always, every time I go, I meet 3 or 4 new ones, or I just get reacquainted with a couple of buddies that I talk to frequently, but maybe don't get to see all the time. And it's always a blast. Well, this past one, he got the best crowd I've ever seen him get. It was great. Again, got introduced to 3 or 4 people from the vinyl community that I've talked to or that have seen my videos, that have talked to me on Instagram. And it's awesome. I took my daughter. My daughter goes with me to most of them. And again, talked to a couple of friends. Spent some time with my little girl. And got some new records. Again, the theme of Max Roach. Max Roach, jazz in 3/4 time. It's in 3/4 time, but it still swings like hell. Fantastic on MRkey. Couldn't be happier. The Coltrane Legacy. Anything with Coltrane that I don't have, I will buy. My boy Dylan knows that. He gets these things and he holds them for me. He knows. He knows what's up. He knows what time it is. It's a promo copy, as you guys may have seen. So there's that white Atlantic label. Guys, outside of a little dust, this thing is near mint. Now, I know it's not like, getting Blue Train, but if you're a Coltrane fan, as I am, anytime you can get something Coltrane that you don't have, you tonto, jump on it. Next up, Art Tatum, The Genius of Art Tatum, number 5. This bad boy's original press. Clef Records. Beautiful black label. And just an awesome piece of art. Art Tatum was a genius. Very happy to have this. John Clemmer, Blowing Gold. I had a copy of this. This one's an upgrading condition. It's on Cadet. John Clemmer's not one that a lot of you are going to be familiar with. It's got like that psyched out cover to it, doesn't it? Very, very psyche vibe. All right, cool as hell. I dig it. Jazz Renaissance Quintet, Moving Easy. Okay, obviously, you know, this one's not going to be the same big deal that some of these other ones I've shown you is, but the cover's cool as hell, the price is fair, and it's good jazz. So it's good jazz for cheap. I'm not somebody whose jazz collection is kept exclusive to $200, $300, $400 value, you know, jazz records. If it's good jazz, if I dig it, if it's in good condition, I will buy it, I will listen to it, and I will love it. And that one's no exception. All right. One of my favorite topics, Vinyl Karma. You guys know how I feel about Vinyl Karma. So my boy Mike Guitar Player 07 on YouTube and also Instagram. My boy Mike is at a record store one day. You guys, you know, I may have told you from a previous video, he looked out on me on record store day, tried to find me a record that day and just, you know, didn't have any luck. We couldn't link it up, but he looked out for me. And just that meant something to me because I had to work and I couldn't go. So he calls me unexpectedly, maybe a week or two later, and he had remembered a post where I think it was, I commented on somebody's post, or maybe I attached this to my volume 1, where I had made a comment about, you know, needing to upgrade my jazz messengers at the Cafe Bohemia, Volume 2, to an original press, or, you know, to a more recent press. I had, you know, a Liberty press. And so he calls me and he goes, dude, I'm at the shop, got one, $12. I'm buying it for you. I was like, dude, you sure you don't want to buy that for yourself? I'm like, that's a serious fine. And he's like, I tell you what, you send me your Liberty press, I'll send you this one. We'll call it even. It's definitely not even in terms of value. You guys know that. But it's my boy doing me a solid. It's got the ear, it's got the RVG, Lexington Ave, which, you know, you guys know how hard it is to find the Lexington Aves. It's beautiful. Thank you so much, Mike. Really, it wouldn't have been a big deal at all to me if you'd have kept this, man. I would not have blamed you in the least. It's beautiful. You looked out for me. I do appreciate it. I'm getting you a nice package with this and a few other goodies that you don't know about. And you're going to love it. Trust me. But what was really cool to me is he enclosed a letter. Something that I will tuck in the sleeve and keep forever because it's awesome. Especially since it's from a friend. That will forever be in the sleeve of this album. He sent me a sticker from the store. Princeton Record Exchange. I'm sure some of you New Jersey natives or some of you people from the area, from the Upper East Coast, are probably well familiar with this store. I hate that I don't live closer because I follow them on Instagram and I talk to Mike all the time, and these guys are constantly getting in jazz heat, and the stores in my area, damn it, just don't. They get a few a year. And when they get those few, I usually buy them. But one of these days, Mike, you and I are going to go to Princeton Record Exchange and we're going to dig our asses off, I promise you. And another thing he threw in is a record store release that he found for himself, tried to find a second copy to buy for me, and they didn't have another copy. By the time he went back to get it, the remaining copies were gone. And he was like, dude, I'm sorry, I went back for it, it wasn't there. And I'm like, man, don't worry about it, Mike, you know. Have a good time, buy some records, and I'll find it later. And I just haven't gotten around to getting myself a copy. I think he was aware of that, so he dubbed a CD for me. Dexter Gordon live at the Playboy Jazz Festival. The only means to listen to this I have are my laptop and in my wife's car. But that's okay. It's definitely going to get played in my wife's car. I drive it a lot. thank you. Thank you, Mike. I can't thank you enough. And he also, hey, he was like, you know what, just in case you're one of those guys as well, he sent me the Princeton Record Exchange bag. Dude, I'm the kind who loves stuff like this, and I love Vinyl Karma, and I love nice deeds done for people. And I'm keeping all of this. I'm going to tuck it in the sleeve of the record, and I'm going to love that record forever. And every time I ever look at it, I'm going to think of you and your kind deed, Mike. Keep your eyes open. You got a package coming your way. I've almost got it all together, because you're going to get a few, and you're going to love it. I'm very positive of that. And just keep your eyes on the post, my friend, because they're coming. And yeah, I think that's it. And so usually, I've got, other stuff for you guys. I got, stories put together, or I've got a theme for all my videos. But today, combining two themes, recent finds, which I know I see a lot of recent finds videos on here, as well as Vinyl Karma. And the Vinyl Karma part especially is very important to me. So once again, thank you to my buddy Marcus. Thank you to Dylan from At Noble Records. And thank you, Mike, Guitar Player 07. Thank you, Mike, for your very, very, very sweet deed, my friend. Keep your eyes on the post. You got something coming, man. Until next time, until next video, keep dropping that needle, you guys.